What is my legacy? What have I done that is meaningful? Hello, thank you for watching. Welcome to Vim Plum's review on Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. This book is really an incredible book. I know this review is not going to do it any justice. However, I found this book at Goodwill for $2, and it's an incredible book. It's broken down into different sections. Start thinking about how you're going to make everyone around you successful. It's broken down into different sections, and I'm not an author. I'm not an editor. I'm not going to college for literature. I'm just a person who likes to read books that I find at Goodwill. And that is what this was. This book helped me start to build a foundation for creating my own brand, which is what I'm doing here on YouTube. I want to create my own brand for Vim Plum. One thing that resonated with me a lot in this book was talking about how your generosity and your uniqueness is what adds value to you. Of trust. Generosity plus vulnerability plus accountability plus candor equals trust. Content. The one true vehicle for building trust online. Content is how people come to know who you are, what you're about, what you want, what you can provide, whether you're cool, etc. How I can add value to the people who watch my channel. And the value comes from me being me. Like, I can be authentically me because I can provide something no one else can provide, and that's me. Whether the information is the same, there's so many. I looked at reviews of this book. There's a lot of reviews of this book, but no one can give my review because no one is me. Something that really helped me in this book was in the very beginning. It made you do a little exercise. You have to think about what you want. What are your 3-year goals? Which 3-year goals is really nice for me because being 21, it's kind of hard to think about like what I want for 5 years, what I want for 10 years. I have an idea of what I want the end goal to be, but it is a little difficult to think that far in the future. This book talks about what you want your 3-year business plan to be, what your 3-year business goals to be, and mine is just my YouTube channel and branding myself because I don't really have a business or want to start a business. You have your 3-year goals, you break that to a 2-year goal, and then you break that down into a 1-year goal. And from that 1-year goal, you go by 3-month increments. So for example, when I started this book, it was March. I think I started this book in March. And by September, I wanted to have a definitive brand, a definitive niche for Vim Plum, and I also wanted to be making consistent content. Who better than you to tell your story with credibility and passion? Which I feel like I have been doing. It helps create that big goal into little bite-sized chunks in order to, just eat the elephant and be able to get it done in a more manageable way than getting overworked by how big and how tremendous it seems to be when you want to complete your goals. This book also talks about keeping relationships. It is a book about networking, so it does talk about how you want to keep relationships, how you want to build relationships, how you generally just want to be nice and kind to every single person you meet. Because there was a quote, I can't remember what the exact quote was, I should have wrote it down, but every person in this life has lived a different life than you, which means you can learn something from that person, no matter who they are. That really stuck with me. And it talks about content. So like creating content, that chapter was super interesting for me because this is what YouTube is all about, is creating content. And content is how people get to know you. People get to know what you're all about. They get to know what your interests are. They get to know just a feel for you, if they like you, if they don't like you, if you guys have shared interests. If you hide your accomplishments, they'll remain hidden. If you don't promote yourself, however graciously, no one else will. That was always something big with me, is I never wanted to talk about things I did, and I never wanted to. No one's gonna ask you to do this. No one becomes an astronaut by accident, which I'm pretty sure was one of the first things said in this book. No one becomes an astronaut by accident. You have to work for it. You have to decide that's what you want to do, and you have to work for it. So anyone who is interested in just building a brand, building a business, creating something that you feel like is going to be bigger than yourself, I highly recommend this book. This book also talked a lot about finding a mentor and how a mentor can just be so helpful and so beneficial. And Actually, the day after I finished this book, I actually met someone at my job who wants to introduce me to his mentor, which is gonna be tomorrow night. So it's kind of interesting how you can just kind of will those things into existence. As much as you stretch yourself by reaching up, be sure you are stretching just as far to reach back and help others. And if you're a good person and you'll learn about it. I'm glad I read the chapter on mentors though. It talks about when you have a mentor, you don't just text someone or message them and be like, I'm teachable. Teach me the things that you know. A mentor wants something back, and normally the thing that that mentor wants back is you to apply the things that you've learned. So yeah, they can tell you anything. Like I can get all this information. Like it's the age of the internet, you know, like I can learn anything by a simple Google search. But if you apply it to your life, and if you retain it, and if you're mindful of it, and if you think about it and try and genuinely work it towards with other people, that is what a lot of people want to see, or a lot of mentors want to see. And I don't know, it's hard. I'm not an author, so it's kind of hard for me to really break down this book into crazy things. However, I personally love this book. I like reading. I love this book. It's all messed up because I took it to the dog park with me. I took it to the waiting room with me. There's so many things in this book that I have like underlined, although I don't know if you can see it on camera. Like just like some chunks here and there where I underlined so much. But yeah, ultimately making your mark as a connector means making a contribution to your friends and family, to your company, to your community, and most importantly, to the world, by making the best use of your contacts and your talents. It's funny what events in life will make you question where you're headed and what you value most. Arrogance is the disease. The value of modesty and the power of teamwork. Are you only connecting with field mice? That one kind of hit me. Most important, remember that your circle of friends, colleagues, clients, and customers is the most powerful vehicle you've got to get the world out about what you do. What they say about you will ultimately determine the value of your brand. Learn to be brief. Definitely talks about how to be brief. Talks about small talk, how it can seem uncomfortable. However, small talk is what we need. That's how you meet new people. And if you're not meeting new people, you're not expanding your circle and you're not expanding your network. Pick the most interesting parts about your story and make them fast. Make them colorful and make them catchy. All your efforts at publicity, promotion, and branding need to feed into your mission. If they're only feeding into your ego, you'll find yourself with a reputation you hadn't bargained for that could hold you back for the rest of your life. What do you really want? Determines all that you do and all the other people who help you accomplish it. It provides the blueprint for all of your efforts to reach out and connect with others. Knowledge is free. It seems our fast food culture has diminished our centuries-old belief in the power of a shared meal in your own home to comfort, nurture, and connect people. Make simplicity so elegant. Man, it's like as soon as the camera comes on me, I fucking forget everything. So, long story short, I highly recommend Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi.